And you created this confidence cheat code. You said, hey, if what you're lacking is confidence, if what you're lacking is that motivation, you brought up, we already talked about lifting weights, but you brought up some like pretty interesting things that I haven't heard about. The confidence cheat code is lift weights, set boundaries, cut toxic friends, daily incantations, say no more than yes. That's say no, just no more than yes. Don't people appease, resolve childhood trauma. Can you touch on a couple of these and explain why the lifting weights is pretty obvious. We can watch many podcasts on why lifting weights raises confidence levels, testosterone, etc. But like the rest of these, including daily incantations, because I don't even know what the hell that is.
Yeah, so I mean, cut toxic friends is there's a famous Rumi quote that says you are the result of the 5 people you spend most time with. So if you've got friends that love unhealthy habits, the chances are that you're going to be doing unhealthy habits are really high. And again, that happened in my own journey, and the quicker you find people that are conducive to more intentional, more conscious living, the quicker that will help upgrade you. Because obviously, if you've got other people that are aspirational and looking to take the right change and meaningful change, that will really help you, rather than it feeling like this is your own journey and your own battle to try and overcome yourself. So that's a big one. The daily incantations basically is it's affirmations on steroids. So if you don't know what affirmations are, it's saying things or writing things down, being like, I am powerful, I am in control. It's whatever, it's the contrary to the self-limiting beliefs that you might have about yourself. And the great thing about daily incantations that I got from Tony Robbins is it's a more visceral way of being able to reinforce some of those aspirational traits or proactive traits about yourself. So rather than kind of saying them and intellectualizing them, you're feeling them. So you're creating like an emotional response where you're in front of a mirror in the morning, or whether you're outside and no one can see you or hear you, you're kind of being like, I am powerful, I am strong. And you really create an emotional response, and that then elevates your state. So rather than it being an intellectual, like, I am so-and-so, I am, where people will think, oh, this is just repetitive bullshit. The incantations takes you from the intellectual into the feeling state. And that's when you get some real meaningful change. And I know, it's something I do with my clients, and it's really powerful. And then what else did I put on there? So the people appease, I think, is a big one. I think too many of us, men and women, if you don't, I don't know if it's a quote, but if you don't set your own boundaries, people will then set their own for you. And the point of that being, if you don't want to do certain things and you don't want to get caught up in certain habits or whatever it is, lifestyle issues, then if that's not rooted in something, then invariably it's going to cause issues for you. And I think that comes back down to values. And I think I've been on a journey with this myself, but I think too many of us don't think about what's really genuinely important to us and what on a value basis. And I think in terms of finding that confidence, if having that compass, I think the compass around like finding that North Star that helps guide us, I think values is a really important part of that. And I think by not people appeasing and focusing more on what you enjoy, what you like, people that inspire you, help you make you feel better, help empower you to be authentic, like that's when you start seeing meaningful change. Like when you start taking that radical ownership of some of those decisions and choices. So hopefully that wasn't too much waffle.
No, but, yeah. It wasn't. I love how we just casually be like, resolve childhood trauma. I think we'll leave that for people to work with you one-on-one. I do want to bring up one more thing before we jump off, because you do talk a lot about, how to raise testosterone levels. These are all amazing things. But the last thing that I thought we don't hear about, and I'm a student. I'm forever a student. Like, I'm not a shit talker. So meaning like I don't shit talk people or myself. Like I'm not going to sit around here and hold anyone to standards I don't hold myself to, or vice versa. And some people have the opposite of one of those problems. Either A, they think too highly of themselves and judge everybody else, or they're nice to everybody else and they just degrade themselves. And most of us fall somewhere on that spectrum. I'm more somewhere in the middle. Like I just try to coast and move on with life and figure it out. But I also realize that sometimes people have a hard time doing what you call here, which is this weekly audit of your time. Like actually asking yourself every Sunday, you said, what gave me energy? What took energy away? What can I easily eliminate? What tasks can I automate? What is my number one goal for the week? You won't improve unless you take accountability. So we talked about taking responsibility for your life. But the idea of not hating other people and not hating yourself, but getting your focus off of those around you, getting your focus onto your own goals, and being realistic in your pursuit of improvement, but also being real with yourself and pushing yourself to be better. Like, what does this daily audit genuinely look like in your life? And I think everyone in here can hit goals for a day, but like, how do you actually use this to fuel a daily lifestyle or a weekly, monthly, yearly lifestyle to where you actually are hitting your goals long enough terms to really see the results?
Yeah, I think when I hit rock bottom, I wasn't doing anything that was kind of reflecting on what I was doing. There was no personal accountability to that. And I think journaling is the most underrated but powerful way that we can take daily stock around whether the life that we're living is conducive to the life that we want or a life that's healthy. And I think there's a great journal that I use, that I used to use for a long time, called the 6-Minute Diary. It's brilliant. You can get it on Amazon, which I think is a great starting point, and it helps give you context as to why it's important. And I think by having these daily stocks, whether it's 5 minutes around how things have been, and I know I mentioned those questions, and then I have the weekly stock that you just mentioned there that helps just review. It's like a collective of the daily pulse checks that I have at the end of the day, and then at the end of the week I then collectively review that, and then that then becomes a month. And what you'll find is, if you get consistent with that, it then helps bring to the forefront things that are either serving you or not serving you. So it's almost like a distiller. I feel like it's like if you put if your life, for want of a better way of putting it as an analogy, is like dirty water, by journaling it helps like distill it and cleanse it, so that your outputs, the propensity of your outputs being more conducive to being healthy and happier and more fulfilling, I think is far greater when you have that personal accountability and you have those pulse checks. So that weekly check that you mentioned is just one. There's the daily journaling, and then there's the monthly ones as well. And that ties into, in my coaching realm, that ties into more around like, what goals are we looking towards in terms of 3, 6, 9 a year, 3 years, 5, longer around, and then working back. And that the personal daily pulse checks with the journaling and the weekly accountability are just the starting point of that wider picture of how that all ties in.
And I got to tell you guys about something important. Don't just worry about the degeneration in our streets and with people, because there is one person in our lives that we know literally can do no wrong, even when they literally chew up the couch. And that's our best friend. That's our little dogs, or our big dogs. They are our friends, and they literally don't do anything but just give us love unconditionally, even when we want to be mad. But so many of us are hurting our dogs with the food that we give them. And it's just scary to really think about the fact that there is a product in almost all of their dog food that is causing gut digestion issues. And those gut digestion issues can be avoided if you could just recognize this and listen to what Dr. Marty has said to identify if it's in your dog's food. Now, this could be leaving your dog tired. It can end your dog's life early. And it's like, if you love your dog, if you know someone who does, you need to find out if this product, this mystery meat meal, is in your product, because it's in most food, even the healthy stuff, quote unquote, that's in the fridge and everything. Now, if you want to find out what Dr. Marty has proposed a plan to help your dog be healthy, and you want to find out what this product is, click the link in the description, which is dogfoodexposed.com/offensive. You've got to check it out. Dogfoodexposed.com/offensive, and find out what's really going on with your dog today. Guys, do not wait till your dog dies or you have expensive vet bills. This product is probably in your dog's food. Get the link, send it to people who have dogs, let them know immediately, and find out how to help your dog. Let's get back into the show.